First of all, let's talk about new signings. 2 players in yesterday, in James McCarthy and Joe Hart. How happy are you to get both of them in?
Yeah, really happy. Working on those 2 for a little while now, and I was keen to get them in for a couple of reasons. One is, I think they're both quality players and quality people, and secondly, I knew that they wouldn't have to do any quarantine or anything, so it's pleasing to get a signing and have them being available. So very pleased to get both of them into the club.
We look at the goalkeeping situation, a lot's been made of that even before you came in. Now that Joe is in, is he first choice? Does he go straight into that starting 11?
Look, in terms of Thursday, we'll have a look at it. Again, he's only literally met the team, last evening. So he has been training though, and he's presented in good condition. He'll have his first training session with the team this afternoon. I'll kind of make a decision after that. But look, I wouldn't have brought him in if I didn't think he could contribute to the team. As you said, with Scotty and Barkey in particular, I mean, I just think they had a really tough year last year, and having someone like Joe around, I think will help them as well, because he's a player who's played at the highest level for a long time. He's experienced the up and downs of football, and I think having an experienced player like him around will also assist those 2.
Finally, from me, obviously James has come in as well. He hasn't travelled. Where is he in terms of fitness? Is he ready to go for the weekend?
Yeah, no, with James, we'll just have to assess him. The difference with James was obviously he wasn't training at a club. He's been training on his own, whereas Joe was with Tottenham. So we made the decision to sort of leave him back in Glasgow. He'll have a session today and tomorrow with our staff there. And then, we'll have a look at him on Saturday. I know he's been working hard on his own and he's keen to get started. But, we just got to be mindful with him that he hasn't really done any team training yet. So probably make a decision on him, probably post the weekend in terms of availability.
Forgive me, Ange, just to double check, Joe's definitely in the squad for tomorrow night's game, yeah?
Yeah, he's here, yeah.
I knew he was here, so I just didn't know if he was eligible to play or not. You must be more relaxed about this match, concerned because you've got Carl Starfelt back, you've got Nir Beaton back, you've had another week's training with the guys. You must be more relaxed this week than you were, obviously, against Midtjylland.
You think I should be relaxed? You think that's the situation I'm in right now? That sort of, if this is your idea of relaxation, I'd hate to think what would happen if you went on a holiday. No, look, I'm no more relaxed or no more anxious than I was last week. The goals and kind of the determination to get things right, it doesn't change. Obviously, we were disappointed to drop out of the Champions League. This gives us another opportunity to stay in European football, and it's an important game. And from my perspective, it's about looking at the game tomorrow and trying to put in another strong performance. Our performances haven't been too bad. In all 3 games we've played, we've had opportunities to win those games. So again, it's about improving our performance and then turning that performance into a result. As I said, I'm not any more anxious or any more relaxed than I was last week. The focus is still the same, and it's an important game, and hopefully one we can get, as I said, a strong performance and a result in.
In terms of the recruitment drive, and is it a case of that it doesn't stop with Hart and McCarthy, and you're still looking to add a real good couple more?
Absolutely, yeah. No, we're I think I've said pretty consistently there's a number of players we need to bring in different areas. We're still light on in certain areas of the park that we still need some strengthening, both in depth as well as quality. So no, we're still the club's still working really hard. I mean it is a difficult market and a difficult time to do deals. So we've kind of done 5 now and in a pretty short space of time. So whilst it feels like an eternity, the club is working hard to try and get things over the line, and certainly doesn't stop with the last 2. We still got some business to do.
And is any of that business likely to take place within the next few days?
I would hope it's happening, every minute of every day. Will it conclude? That's the one where, and it's not because, people have asked me in the past these questions and about when they're going to conclude and about different individuals. I just don't want to, give any false expectations, because I've just seen already how delayed the process can be, and sometimes it's totally out of our control. So, but we're pushing hard on a daily basis, and I'd like to think that over the next sort of week, again, we have some additions to the squad.
In terms of Joe, do you believe you have a world-class goalkeeper in your squad now?
I believe I have an exceptional player, an exceptional person. What world-class, international class? I don't look at it that way. For me, it's, as I said, it's as much about what kind of people they are and the experiences they bring, as much as it is about them being, exceptional players. And, from my perspective, one of the things that I'm really trying hard to sort of remedy is that, obviously this group of players, in particular the ones who were here last year, went through a pretty tough time. And it's about bringing in some fresh faces, some fresh voices, which will sort of get everyone refocused on what's important. And what's important is what's in front of us, not what's happened in the past. And Joe and James both, tick that box for me, that, they both played at the highest level their whole careers. I still think they're both at an age where they got a lot more to contribute and, more importantly, are hugely motivated to contribute to this football club.
It's a 3-year and a 4-year contract, respectively. Is that an indication that you see them as a backbone of Celtic for the foreseeable future?
Not the backbone, but like I said, I don't see them as players who are kind of in the final year of their careers. Joe at 34. There's plenty of examples. Some who have been through the club, even that for a goalkeeper that still means there's plenty of good years left in them. And the same with James. He's only 30 years old. So, and again, it's not about the age as much as their motivation and their ability to keep driving themselves, and both have that in bucket loads. But the backbone of this team will be, the players who want to contribute to this club being successful. So whether that's new guys or guys who have already been here, for me, we've got to sort of build a new team that hopefully will be successful for a number of years. Who's part of that will be down to the individuals.
And yesterday, the Scottish Government announced the relaxation of basically all the restrictions in Scotland, which would see a full capacity, very likely at Celtic Park next week. How much are you looking forward to that and having the fans back? Yeah,
immensely so. I'm probably, that's where I'm probably a bit lucky, I guess, in terms of my timing. Coming to the club when, pretty soon we're going to have a full Celtic Park, and I'll get to experience that. And more importantly for the players, as I said, I think that's been probably a huge part of this group of players being so unsettled. What they went through last year, and without the support there, I think affected them greatly. And I know that once we get back into Celtic Park and there's a capacity there, that energy that the crowd are going to give the players will, I'm sure, re-energise a lot of this group. And like I said, I'm certainly looking forward to it. As I'm sure, more importantly, the fans are, they've probably missed football more than anybody. And we all know how important this club is to their lives. So I think it'll be fantastic when it happens.
And in terms of new faces, one player that fans are really, really excited about is Kyogo, and we got a chance to have a little look at him against Hearts. How has he been in training this week, and can we expect to see more of him tomorrow?
Yeah, good. He literally came to the hotel and I put him on the bench and he played, which was, pretty bizarre sort of way to begin a career at a new club in a new country. But it's just where we're at the moment. But he's trained the last couple of days and he's been really good. He's, I think he'll be, well liked and popular with the players as much as the supporters. And look, I know him really well as a player, and I know his strengths. And the good thing with him is, he was playing, he was mid-season, so his fitness levels are pretty good. So he'll play a part absolutely tomorrow, and probably a bigger part than he did on the weekend.
And in terms of your opponents tomorrow night, what are you expecting from Jablonec?
Yeah, tough game. Again, Czech teams are always very well organised. They're a big side. They're a physical side, and I expect it to be a tough challenge. I think anytime you play away in Europe, there are always unique circumstances you need to overcome, and I'm sure that'll be the case for us tomorrow night. But we're trying to maintain our focus on ourselves at the moment. I think, as I said, our football's been okay. It hasn't been brilliant, but it's been okay. We've had chances to win all our games. There's a real focus there to turn the performances, to keep improving them, but more importantly, turn them into results.
And you've obviously the profile you've brought in with Joe and James is very experienced, lots of international caps. Is it important that the profile of player that you look to bring in and supplement the squad is also of that similar experience to help what is quite a young squad that you've got at the moment?
Yeah, not necessarily, but you're right. I mean, when you look at the makeup of the squad, and it's the first thing I noticed sort of when I took over, there wasn't a lot of experience there. A lot of experienced players have kind of left over the last couple of years, and I just thought there was a bit of a gap there. So, I mean, you've got to be careful with experience, because sometimes you can bring in the wrong type of experience and it can affect it in an adverse way. So, for me, like I said, really worked hard to make sure that, particularly if I'm going to bring in guys who, are of that sort of age and experience, is that they're the right kind of people. And every person I've spoken to about James and Joe and all the research I've done tells me that they're absolute first-rate professionals and very, very good people, and that's important. So that doesn't necessarily mean we'll keep going down that track, because we've already got some players who I think are already showing leadership qualities. But what I'm trying to do is not sort of be too narrow in my focus of what kind of player I bring in, because we've had to be creative so far. We've pretty much gone all over the world to bring people in, and I'm not going to sort of minimise the areas of opportunity for us. So, irrespective of age and experience, if I think they're going to fit our playing style and the culture I want, then we'll look at them.
Yeah, and how is recruitment working at the club at the moment? Obviously, there's no sporting director or head of recruitment. So how are targets being identified and then, pursued, or deciding which ones you're going to pursue?
Well, we still, our scouting department's still there, and they're working hard on a daily basis to get as much information as possible. Obviously, I'm doing a lot of it myself as well, which I kind of prefer, because, from my perspective, if I can bring in the type of players that I know will suit me, then that's going to help sort of hasten the process of changing the way we play and the way we go about things. But it's been, everything's been so hectic because of the amount of sort of additions we've needed to bring in and the delays that are out of our control. As I said, when you look at it, we brought 5 players in, plus 2 young ones earlier in the window, in a pretty short space of time. Obviously, I'm still keen to bring more in, and that's what we're pushing for. But, I'm kind of hoping that, I think we'll be planning that there won't be too many windows like this. I'd like to think that we'll be in a much better place next window to not have to sort of work in this way where we have to bring in so many players.
Yeah, have you been given any updates from those above you about the search for a sporting director or anything like that?
Mate, whenever somebody above me talks to me about anything other than bringing in players, I kind of say the connection's bad, so can you try again later? My sole focus at the moment is on getting the right squad together. Look, and that doesn't mean that that's what you're talking about. It's not important. It is. It's a priority, but I think it's probably a priority post-window. The most important thing right now, and I think that's what the supporters would want me and the rest of the club working on, is getting the right squad together for us to challenge this year. And then, I've got some ideas. I know Dom's got some ideas on how we restructure things in the football department. So we'll crack on with that once the window closes.
Is that the case the same with maybe bringing in one or two of your own staff as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Again, we've got some gaps there, and we'll definitely fill those gaps with the right people. Again, that's really important. And again, I've got some ideas on that, and Dom's been really supportive. So, but I'm like I said, at the moment, my focus is well and truly on getting the players in.
We get an injury update, Ange. Any other injury news for this game? Is Lee Griffiths back?
No, Lee's probably training into the week. So we're hoping by the end of the week he's back out there training. I think everyone else is from the weekend is presented fine and available.